All right, what's going on, everybody? So we are back. This is the finish of week 6. So this is the start of week 7 for the home renovation. And this is going to be a fairly long video before we get started. The Wegmans sponsorship didn't really work out from last time. So we have this great product placement right there. So you know who to sponsor me? Yep. So let's get started. So as you can see here, big changes already. Hot water tank, that's the stove, fridge. All these were delivered. I thought they were going to be on back order for probably at least a month because that's what everyone else was telling me. So I ordered them ahead of time. But now here we are. Kitchen not done. But as you can tell, that kitchen right there, that has a lot of progress, but we'll get there. So in here, we're just kind of in a holding pattern. I've contacted my electrician as well as my HVAC guy to install this because it needs to be hooked up to the panel, and this is one that will vent it to the outside. So over here, that's the stove. So that's a 36-inch stove. The price on those is a little crazy, to be honest, but we have it now. And then the fridge. This fridge is a counter depth fridge as well as reduced sort of height. So it seems a little bit shorter than the average fridge in the back, but it actually kind of like looks normal in the front. I don't want to like go into too much detail on this because there's a lot to show you guys, but essentially this is what I'm talking about. Has a little extra lip in the front. It's just stainless steel. And then there's really no extra bells and whistles with this. It was still unfortunately pretty penny, but now I have it, but nowhere to put it yet. So the other piece in here is this ceiling. I mean, look at that. Wow. It looks even better on video, to be honest. We have to do another coat up here, but that's all we have left to do in terms of the ceiling. There's a few small little spots, like right there. You can see that right there. Let me see if I can point to it. Yep. So those are little blemishes in the plaster that are kind of showing through. So we have to sand it, put a little bit of mud there, touch it up with some paint, and then we're gonna have to go back through this ceiling one more time. So we're gonna do that. We do have to paint the walls in here, but in order to paint the walls, you can see how the doorway over here kind of leads over into the kitchen area. Yeah, so what that means is we basically have to, if we're gonna be painting this wall in the living room, we have to paint that wall over there in the kitchen. So, I mean, there's no way around it. We can't stop right here like the previous tenants did. I don't know what they were thinking, but we can't stop like that. I mean, there's no way. So we're going to continue it through. But while we're over here, take a look at this. Oh, that's so beautiful. So the skylight is done. It is painted. It is sealed. It looks beautiful. So we'll get down to that kind of stuff. This room, guys, this room right here, the eBay room / business room, almost done. It is totally painted as of today. So the walls are done. Look at that paint color. So I went with a really nice neutral gray. That's going to be most of the house. Partly because I wanted more of a blank slate because I have lots of paintings and furniture that I want to kind of stand out more, but also because if it turns into a renter in the future, I really want to make sure that it's more of a neutral palette because it's a little bit more appealing that way for renters. The brick I just cleaned today. It doesn't look like it. I'm going to clean it one more time, but there was, if you remember, big chalk marks kind of down here, totally gone. And on the bright side, I mentioned in the previous video I was using like this Lysol stuff, the foaming, scrubbing bubbles. Well, as a perk to the brick being mostly cleaned, it also smells like a fresh scented bathroom in here. So pro tips. And in here, can't believe it, almost done. Small little section we have to patch up top there because we accidentally started painting around that when we shouldn't have. But I just finished coating this not too long ago. I'm probably not gonna bother cleaning the brick in here because it's just a little closet area. But really all we have left to do in here is put some leveling compound down because there's a bit of a difference, and then we can put flooring in. So we're almost home free in this room. And then over here we have to kind of make the little steps that are gonna lead out. but that's gonna be pretty simple. Just a little bit of framing. So let's go to the kitchen because that is the most exciting adventure. I have quite the checklist that I made out here. I feel like it's really important to be organized, especially during this and especially with the timeline that I'm trying to achieve. So I have been very aggressively making checklists and going over things with my father and my friends that are here to help me. And that just helps me keep on task. But what you're looking at right now is nearly actually the finished kitchen. So cabinets are painted. That is painted, and that is the final color. It is called Sagey, and this is by Sherwin-Williams. I don't have the exact color per se, but I think it looks fantastic. There's a little tape around it because we're painting the ceiling right now. This ceiling up here, that is done, but this ceiling over here needs one more coat, and it's most evident over here. So you can see those little spots sticking through. Yes, we have to recoat that. But it was to be expected, to be honest with you. But I think the cabinets turned out honestly better than expected. I mean, it's hard to tell fully, but I mean, they turned out beautiful. The sheen, I mean, look at that off that. You can see like reflection. It's fantastic. The only problem with these are these drawers. So I'm gonna point, or not drawers, I'm sorry, the little inserts for the cabinets. They were covered in mouse poop and everything else you can imagine. Some things I don't want to imagine. And there's a lot of them, as you can see. But I think what we're gonna do is just cut new ones. I mean, it hurts me to say that because that's more time, that's more money, but I mean, they're just so dirty. I mean, look at these things. And that's after wiping them down. And then for these ones here that are kind of the base that I can't really just remove. I mean, I guess I could by taking it out from beneath, but that'd be a lot of work. I'm probably gonna get some silicone or some hard plastic. I'm gonna put it down. If you guys have any suggestions, leave them down in the comments. I'd really like to kind of learn a little bit more about maybe putting something down. Even if I have to like Mod Podge it, I'd be down for it. Because I just wanna cover it up. I don't wanna have to replace those. New update in here, I think that this little section, we might make a little halfway shelf here, as you can see. And then there's that plug right there. That plug does work. So what we do is put a base, put a halfway shelf and support it, of course. And then after doing that, I would probably have the microwave up here or maybe down here. And then I would have probably the KitchenAid stand mixer that I have maybe in this region, along with maybe some other small appliance. But that's just an idea. Water line, we're ripping that out. Painting, whenever we're done painting with white, we're just kind of getting the brushes out over here. The reason being, when you're looking at the room from over this way, you're gonna be able to see behind the fridge just a little bit. And I want you only to see white over here because there's gonna be a white backsplash here. There's gonna be white backsplash pretty much all the way up this white line just about, or I guess a little bit over into the brown here and then over. So I just want the appearance of white there. So yeah, I mean, those are the updates for here. Let me show you down in this room. This is where we were working on the cabinets and we were still working on them. And look at them, they're all like kind of lined up at attention like soldiers or something. But I tried using my spray gun yesterday, which is the one you hook up to the compressor. And unfortunately, I mean, let me just show you the results. It's kind of tragic. So here they are, very splotchy. The spots that did cover, I mean, it covered okay, I guess, but that was what I was risking to have happen over the entire cabinet. And I'm not about to go through this whole process, prime them, and then be super dissatisfied. Plus it was going to take forever. I mean, this took me one full spray and then the compressor had to recompress. So you can imagine doing this little section. Here, let me give you an idea. That little section on every single one of these. Yeah, so I think honestly what's gonna be a little bit faster is either going to be A, an airless sprayer, or B, I'll just paint it. And you know what? I've already painted all the other cabinets by hand, so I figured if I got an excellent finish, a finish I was happy with on all the other cabinets, why not just set up a system and hand paint them? Now the downside for that is I'll have to do 6 passes. I'll have to do 2 on the back for primer, 2 on the front for primer, and then 1 front, 1 back for the actual paint, because I can't flip them, you know what I mean? Like back and forth, because the paint's gonna be wet, so I can't flip them over to paint on the other side. So unfortunately, that's kind of where I'm at with that. But oh, this is frame 2. You can see this over here. I'm pointing at right there. Take a look at that. So this has been framed. There's insulation in here now. So hopefully that's going to increase the warmth a little bit. We also kind of finalized this. This has been placed back in here. And so that is going to be nice and sealed off. So we're going to do the same thing in here that we did in the other room back over past this that I showed you that's fully painted. Basically, we're going to frame it so there's going to be less air that's going to be getting through. Now up this way, hallway is also done. So this is done. We just have to recoat. And then in terms of the hallway, there's like this little depression here that I mentioned before that kind of leads over this way. There's 3 areas that we need to use the leveling compound. That far room in the closet, this room right here, and then in here, in this little depression. So I've already sealed this off. So now we just have to put the leveling compound down. The walls are pretty much done. Ceiling needs touch up, but it's a little hard to see given the light. And then look at this. Oh guys, I want to catalog this so I can look back on this disaster. What was happening in here? What is this? It's like I really don't know what happened in here. There's gaps. I don't know if we have to take it down. I really am kind of at a loss. And then to top it off, look at that. I mean, just tragic. We have to clean that all out. It's so gross, and like it got everywhere. I mean, look at that. When I was hauling it all out, it just shot everywhere. There was no way around it. Sadly, there's no mirror, but look at what they did. They literally just cut out around it, and they never actually filled that because they wanted to save a little bit of money. My God, this whole house is just surprise after surprise. And you know what? I am going to be very happy when this whole process is done. But I'm not going to finish demoing in here because I want my dad to take a look at this first. I want to see what we have to do. And then I also the reason I'm not pulling everything out is because this right here, that's our only source of water in the house besides the garden hose. So I don't know if we want to shut it off and rip it out yet, if, you know, because we're going to have to get all the paneling off and get at the board. But here we are. I mean, it's almost time to start working there. We moved all of our tools in here. There's the mirror. You can see my feet. There we go. But not a whole lot to do in here. I mean, there's some dings and dents, but that's really it. And there's the ceiling fan. So 5 there, 1 there. And that is 6 total. So we're doing 6 total because we have 2, as in 1 here in the living room, 1 in the kitchen. Those are going to be identical. And then there's 4 more throughout the house. 2 behind me in those 2 rooms that used to be the garage. 2 over here. So that's 6 in total. Now the last thing that I want to show you is the downstairs, which I ripped all the pallets out. So this is just, sorry, I'm looking for neighbors right now. This is just an incredible change. There's a little robin that has her nest over here, probably fly away from us. But, yep, there it goes. Look at this. So this is the door over here. Oh, you can see me a little bit. Hey. It's a beautiful little area. and storing some lumber over here. But anyways, that's it. That is the anticipated, maybe not anticipated, 2-week lapsed home tour. So now, like I said, we are 6 weeks down. Well, 6 weeks in 1 day. We have, let me just give you this view while I'm talking. So we have 6 weeks in 1 day, and I really want to push to get in probably by July 2nd through July 5th. I have no idea if that's possible, but we'll see. I'm going to keep pushing. I have been going really hard, and I have a feeling that when I'm done with this whole process, I'm going to crash really hard, because this is taking a lot out of me on top of my other job, part-time job, my side business, this whole renovation process. It's a lot, but you know, it's going to be worth it. I mean, sitting on this deck in the future, looking at this view with the finished upstairs is going to be such a relief. And then my neighbors have been nothing but fantastic so far. As you can tell, they keep their lawns up to date. They have beautiful views for us to indulge in. So I have a lot to be thankful for. And, you know, I think that although this has been a very challenging and trying time for me, it's all going to pay off. So use that as a lesson for yourselves. Don't give up, even when you really feel like it. And that's what I'm going to leave you with today. But I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. And I will see you either next week or in 2 weeks. We'll see how this video does for the next video. And hopefully there's a lot more to show in the next one, more progress. So I'll see you in the next one, and see you later. Bye.